Hello everyone, this is Ricardo. I'm representing the Advanced Leadership Foundation and we're a guest here today at StudySo in Kyiv. I'm here to talk about the programs that we have at the Advanced Leadership Foundation. First, I should explain a little bit about who we are. The Advanced Leadership Foundation is a foundation based in the United States, in Washington, D.C., and we have been offering programs for internships around the world since 2014. Right now we have offices in Madrid, in Medellin, in Colombia, in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and we're now kicking off our office in Kyiv. We're trying to offer the programs that we give to the Ukrainian students and the youths to try and make an impact here as well. Basically, what we offer is the opportunity to make a difference in your profile. What we noticed, and probably you've noticed as well, or you're about to notice, is that once you finish your school, your degree, your bachelor's degree or your master's, whatever it is you may be doing right now, there's a very big gap between what you learned in school and what the real world is like in the office. Things are not necessarily applied the same way as they are in a textbook when you're in a real life scenario. The best way that you can learn what you will be facing once you get into the workforce is by being able to learn these things firsthand in a safe environment where you're expected to be learning and not expected to know these things that you were never taught. That's why the Advanced Leadership Foundation has thought that the best way to bridge this gap and create students into professionals is to strive to make them into leaders by taking them into organizations in the United States that have already been prepared to receive students such as yourself and be able to train you in the best practices and gain all of the know-how that these companies have, which you will then be able to bring back home and differentiate yourself from the rest of the people who will be in the hiring pool. This has proven to be a huge benefit and a huge opportunity. For example, when you want to go into a company and be a professional in communications, you will know exactly what everyone else that graduated from your class knows. So you might be a perfect student, but there might be other perfect students as well. However, with an opportunity such as this, the Advanced Leadership Foundation will help you go to the United States and work in one of the top companies in the sector that you're interested, so that you can already have something additional that other people wouldn't have when they enter the workforce back home. You will have firsthand experience having worked at a communications company in the United States, for example, with the know-how of how things are being done in one of the leading markets in the world. This will most likely set you aside and apart from the rest of the candidates that might be trying to compete for that same job you're trying to go for. How do we do this? We do this with two types of programs. We have a long internship and a short internship. Our long internship is a 10-month program where we will guide you from the beginning until your return back home to Ukraine, if it be the case. We will guide you through the entire process of your J1 visa that will allow you to stay and work in the United States during this 10-month period. We will also help you find placement in a company that will be willing to accept you as an intern in their company during this period. The program in itself includes everything I've just mentioned, the entire process of guiding you through and helping you obtain your J1 visa, and the process of getting you placed in an internship program in the United States. Right now, this program, we're offering it mainly in Washington, D.C., New York, Miami, Chicago, Boston, and San Francisco. However, this is a program that is very customizable, so we are able to adjust it to whatever you want. We have mainly been working this program for the marketing, architecture, technology, mathematics, engineering, business administration, finance, and cybersecurity sectors. However, since we can work this program on a one-to-one basis, we can look at your profile, and if it matches what is something that is able to be hired as a foreigner in the United States, we will work with you to make sure that you get to complete your objectives in the United States. For example, an area that would be difficult would be if you want to practice as a doctor. This is an area that's highly regulated in the United States, and we cannot offer that. However, if you have a business background or a background in marketing, this is an area where it would be very feasible for us to find an area in the United States, a company and a city that you would like, which would be willing to host you and be able to guide you and receive you throughout this 10-month program. This program includes the entire, as I mentioned, the entire process of your J1 visa. The whole process would start with your application through us, and StudySo can help you get more information on how to kick off this process. There are a few requirements. You have to be under the age of 30. You have to have finished your studies. You have to have a minimum level of English of C1, because you have to be able to communicate effectively in the company where you will be placed. So being able to maintain a complex conversation in English is very necessary, so that the person who's receiving you and hosting you in the United States, the disruption is as minimal as possible. Additionally, you have to have a valid passport, and this passport has to be valid for 6 months after you return from the United States. So if your visa is until January, well, 6 months after January, your passport has to still be valid. You cannot have a criminal record, and you have to pass the interview in the US Embassy. However, I know that the interview in the US Embassy is sometimes something that scares people. However, at the Advanced Leadership Foundation, we've been doing this for a very long time, and we will help you with the interview process. We will do a mock interview ourselves to make sure that you know what to expect in the interview, and to guarantee the most high levels of success for your visa application. After this, we will get you placed in your company in the United States, and we will be by your side the entire process while you're there, being sure that you are able to find reasonable accommodation and you understand the city, which will now be your home for the next 10 months. This program, as I mentioned before, is highly customizable. So it doesn't have to be specifically the areas where I made reference to before. You could have a vast array of backgrounds. You just have to have the drive, be an excellent student, and see that this is an enormous opportunity for you to advance your career and turn yourself into a leader that stands out when you try to compete for a job when you're back home. The cost of this program is 10,000 euros, but it includes everything I have mentioned before. The entire J1 visa process, where we will screen you and make sure the best of our efforts that you will be able to obtain that J1 visa. We will do the placement and find a company for you in the United States that you are happy with, and that we think and you think that will be a good place to advance your professional career. This process will be jointly done with you to make sure that whatever you are signing up for is something that you will be happy with. Additionally, this program is not just about work. We also have an academic part into the project. You will be subscribing to online courses where we will be sure to also fulfill a little bit of the areas that we've seen in the past that are maybe lacking in university as you study. For example, we've seen it's very common that you get out of the university and you don't know very well how to present yourself, how to negotiate. Your critical thinking might need a little bit of a kick to become top-notch and help you solve problems that are going to arise in your business and your work with teams. The program that we offer is an online course that will help you build on these talents that are known as soft skills, and that is not necessarily something that you are really taught or worked hard on during your academic period back at school. With these two things, the work and the academic program that we offer you, we are sure that once you return, you're going to stand out and be a leader. That will definitely be someone very worth hiring once you come back home and try to kick off your professional career. One thing I should point out is that this program is remunerated. You will be paid by the internship that you will be hired to. So you will be paying for our services that will make sure that you get placed and that you get your J1 visa. However, the company that you will be working for is also going to be paying you. The salaries vary depending on the city and the area where you'll be working, but you will be compensated. This is not an unpaid internship. So this will make it a little bit easier to live and stay in the United States during this period, because you will have a financial backing, which will be the salary for the work and the talent that you're offering the company. The other program we have is slightly different. It's a shorter program. It's a 4-month program, and it is more streamlined towards people who would want to completely launch their career once they're done, but for a shorter period. It is more streamlined towards an academic, just out of college kind of profile, and this one is only offered in Washington, D.C. In this program, very similar to the one before, the backgrounds can be quite varied. Just have to be sure to have a degree, or if it's possible in a university, to take a semester off and participate in the program. Well, this could also be considered. However, ideally, you will just have finished your bachelor's degree or your master's degree, and you will be looking to kick off your professional career after this program. This program is 4 months, as I mentioned before, which would be a semester in the academic year in the United States, and it begins in January and in September. We have 2 windows to start because it runs with the academic year in the United States. As I said, the program is in Washington, so you would be placed in Washington at a Fortune 500 company of a very high profile, and very likely, often we have collaborated with NGOs such as the World Bank and the United Nations. So this is a very exciting program because you get to participate in the capital of the United States in some of the leading companies and organizations that really make a difference in the world, and without a doubt will be recognized in your profile, your CV, once you come back home and start to explain and share everything that you've learned. This program, different from the one I mentioned earlier, the 10-month program, is more hands-on because you will be working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and Friday you will be taking courses in person. These courses will be taught by high standard, high level professors in the United States. In Washington, often we have professors that come in from Georgetown to give you this training, but it changes year to year. This training is very similar to the one that I mentioned earlier for the 10-month program. However, it is in person. This is the big reason why this program is different from the other one. We are physically with you the entire time, not just via email and WhatsApp. We are actually there. We give you courses, we give you housing. We make sure that everything, every day, is planned out, and we know, and you know, what to expect and what you will be doing. This program is our star. It is a great program, which we have been able to offer to more than 10,000 participants since 2014. Students from Colombia, Mexico, Argentina, Panama, Spain, Gibraltar, Portugal, Greece, Kazakhstan, around the world, students have been able to participate in this program. And it really is a very, very eye-opening and wonderful experience. So much happens in Washington, D.C. that you get to participate in. You get to go to visit the Congress and see how the laws are made in the United States. You get to meet decision makers. You get to meet world leaders at different conferences that are held in Washington, D.C. every month and every week, because so much is always happening in Washington, D.C. that this is definitely a program that will open your eyes to the world and to make you the professional that I'm sure you want to become. This is what the Advanced Leadership Foundation is for. We want to help you become the leader that we know you are, and you know you are too. The difference from this program, as I mentioned, it covers everything that I mentioned that the fee in the 10-month program covers, except that this one also covers housing. We know that Washington, D.C. is one of the most expensive cities in the United States when it comes to rent. The rest of the cost of living might be similar, but rent, since it's a small city, has gone up significantly. So this program offers the opportunity for us to give you housing. That's why the cost in this case is more elevated than in the original one. It is 20,000 euros. However, we give you housing in a very central area of Washington, D.C., right between the White House and close to the Smithsonian Museum. And this housing is yours for free. It's covered in the expenses that you will be paying alongside with the entire J1 visa solicitation, the health insurance, the placing, and the guidance and academic program that you will be signed up for once you're in Washington, D.C. I think these are two enormous opportunities that we're very excited to be able to bring into Ukraine. And we're sure that this is something that's going to make a difference in the lives of the young professionals that are now trying to enter the workforce in Ukraine. The world is not the same as it was before. When our parents were studying, you needed a bachelor's degree to stand out. Later on, you needed a master's degree. Now you need to have hands-on experience and something that will make you different and make added value in your profile and your future, that will make your future employers excited about hiring you and see that you are different from the rest of the candidates that are there, that you have hands-on experience, that you were taught by people who are writing the book on these topics, and now this knowledge is yours firsthand, not because you learned it in an article or in a class or you had to take a test. Your test was a 10-month program, every day, learning what you are now going to be doing, and which gives you passion and you want to be doing for the rest of your professional life. And employers will recognize this. They value it, and we have seen the impact in the lives of thousands of participants throughout the years. As I told you, we've done this for many years, and we have a very good track record with the people who have participated. You don't stop being part of the Advanced Leadership Foundation once your 4-month period is done or once your 10-month period is done. You become part of our family and our network throughout the world, which will help you and be there by your side as you continue to develop yourself as a professional. This is a journey that's never done. You might be about to finish school and ready because you're tired. However, you're always going to be learning, and you always have to find ways to set yourself aside and how to make yourself noticeable. This is a great opportunity, and I really look forward to being able to speak to you and teach you more about our programs and the opportunities that we have to offer. For now, be sure to talk to StudySo here in Kyiv to make sure that they can answer any of your questions and put us in contact. We really look forward to seeing you and receiving you in Washington, D.C. or whichever city you decide to do, if you decide to do our 10-month program. Thank you.